Good evening and welcome back. I haven't done one of these for a while, so I thought now I'm on a new remix. Don't know what that was, but yeah, on a new remix, so I thought why not do a bit of a tutorial on how I put the my tracks together. So got a remix I'm doing for 13 records for Ollie Hodges. It's called Fiesta. It's already out. Check it out on Beatport, Spotify, and all major streaming platforms. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. So if there's any Q&A questions or chit chat, general banter, just give us a holler. I want to put a new kick in here. I don't like the one I've got. So what I want with it being a tech house track is a big fat 909. If you can find it. What I'm going to try and do with all these tutorials going forward when they take off, and they will take off, I hope, my Friday night streams, is just rip things apart and do the basics from the ground up and show you how I do everything, mate. Oh, there he is. Easy lad. How's it going? Finally got in the end, then did you, Lynn? He's in. He's in. Can you hear me all right? Am I sounding all right? Can you hear the music fine? I was just saying, this is a remix I'm doing for 13 records for Ollie Hodges Fiesta. So I've got the stems. I've already kind of started on it a couple of weeks ago. But plan is, I thought, sod it. I'll do a tutorial and then we'll see you start live streaming, because it's, why not? Why the hell not? So I made a start on this the other day. Basically got the stems in place. I've already kind of made a bass line, but I'll take you through how we did all that. Anyway, we're talking like a... That's the bass line I've come up with already, so I'll take you through how we did that. It's pretty rumbling, pretty rolling. I like it, but I started off with the general... And I'm pretty chuffed with that at the moment, but all I did when I started was just putting just a bit of a kick. Just a bit of a loop together from one of the packs, but I don't want to do that. I want to build up my own 909 kick, and then I want to put my hi-hats in and do all my percussion separately, whilst using the packs and using your tech house perk loops such as this is, you know, easy, but you want to kind of chop them up a bit and then get your make up your own ideas instead of just using flat out somebody's. Whilst there's nothing wrong with that, it's not really original if that's what you want to go for. But so I thought while we're kicking off this tutorial, I will put together a kick. We'll start at the beginning. The most basic element of any house track is your kick. So when it comes to tech house, I'm excited too, mate. And any questions, mate, just holler out straight away. I'm just going to dive into it, but I'm going to start at the basics and show you how I would make a kick, and how I process the kick, EQ it, etc. And then we'll get into the rest of the track. So for the basics, I'm just going to use Ableton built-in sounds because I don't think there's anything wrong with them whatsoever, and I think they should probably be utilised a lot more. So I think I'm going to go for a 909 kick. That feels pretty good. So let's get rid of all the processing I did on the other one. Turn that one off. Delete the automation. Right. Let's get... wait a minute. I need a MIDI track, don't I? Silly me. Right. Create a new kick. Get rid of the old one. Make sure it's a MIDI track. And you can see I've already basically made the layout of what I think the track's going to be already. But this can be... There are literally no rules to writing house or dance music. You just do what you want to do and it will generally turn out absolutely class. So I'm going to start putting a kick in here. C3. I can always do it a lot shorter than that, but as I said, no rules. And then it's not playing, is it? Why is that not playing? I haven't put it in. There. Yeah, that kick will do. That sounds pretty good. Always with kicks, put your decay and your release right up. That's a pretty dirty kick. That will try and fix it up a bit. You only really need like 3 or 4 processing effects on most instruments anyway, especially kicks. A bit of saturation, EQ, compression, and a limiter if you want it. That's the only things I would put on a kick. Before I start any processing, if you want to give something some saturation, I would say put it first. So if I'm... Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I it's a tech house track. The original for this one is 125, I think, but I don't know, lately everything just sounds a bit better when it's just sped up a bit. Like 128 is pretty fast, but in for tech house it's pretty quick, but I think it sounds pretty good. And there's a lot of artists I've noticed out there now which are starting to speed up the BPMs of their tracks. So I'm gonna get rid of the original kick. I'll ungroup everything and I'll you know, you say everything seems to glue. Yeah, we'll get to that anyway when it comes to the kick and bass. So you get a bass line and your kick, you want to glue them together so you get that really nice rumbling low end. So it's a perfect choice of words, mate. Yeah, 128, but his perfect side stepping speed. Spitting my words out. Certainly what I'll be bouncing to when I go to Newcastle tomorrow night. There's all dancing shoes on. Right. Release, I'm going to say you want it... If you're at 128, then you want it somewhere similar. Especially you want it, especially got a really low rumbling bass line. You want quite a short releasing kick. to be honest. But I usually have a look at around 128, and then I add around 60 milliseconds or so. So I always find that 1.8 for your release, for your kick is probably around the sweet spot. And then there's not really much difference anyway, because this kick anyway, 909s, the transient on them is pretty is pretty sharp, as is the release. Zero attack, full decay, full sustain, and I'll leave the volume at 12. So I said saturation first. I always hit the soft side, and I just punch it up and see where I'm at. Obviously, my master's driving quite a high output here anyway, so let's go for, I'll just put the master at 6. Take the kick, and let's, you see that's getting pretty naughty around, pretty naughty up there at 10. If it depends where you want to go with Tech House, and I'll just turn that master down. There you go. Back to my kick. Always turn your output down. Try it with 6. See if that makes it a bit fatter. Yeah, I like that. Nice. More followers buzzing. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, where am I at? So saturation, I would go in terms of processing, your processing channels. I would go saturation, EQ, then some compression, which we'll get to. EQ. With kicks, always you're gonna find that the mid. What made you jump? Made me jump as well. I don't know what it is. I need to figure out what it is. Oh, it scared the shit out of me. I was saying, kicks, you're always gonna find your ear or this horrible. Boxiness is on your kick. What was the limiter I had on the master, mate? That's just... It's just what I use when I take it off. Obviously, when you send a track to master, I've absolutely zero effects or any processing on your master channel or whatever, mate. But when I'm creating a kick, what I will do, if I'm creating a track, your kick is always going to set the volume, so I would have the kick bouncing at around about -10, so it's quite low, but it gives you that massive headroom that you're looking for when you send off for a master, and the more headroom the better, in my opinion. So the reason it's on there, I'll get to that, is if I put a kick on there and I go down to 10 and I make sure I'm just bouncing around, just clipping -10 dB, so I know that kind of sets the level for the rest of my track. But what it also does is makes your track incredibly bloody quiet when you are trying to write it. So what I do with the limiter is I just turn the volume up. See, I mean, you can still hear it, but sometimes I need to hear it loud, so because I'm going 10 dB, I put 10 dB on it in terms of gain on the master, and that probably gives me a reasonable reference of where it would be once it's mastered, or there or thereabouts. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, just tell me to shut up and get on with it and talk about something else. No, that's 100%, mate. No, absolutely not. That's what it's all about, mate. It's Q&A, just helping other people. You might have a better way of doing it, which you can tell me how it's done, which is absolutely fine. Please feel shout up if you think there's a better way of doing stuff. What I was talking about was... 1 second. What I was talking about is the mud, wasn't it? This horrible. If you click that, yeah, you can isolate what it is on your EQ you're listening to. And you're looking for that horrible. I mean, there's your kick in your EQ. That's exactly what you want to be hearing. You want to be hearing this. Starting to get what we call a little bit boxy. And there. It's muddiness. It's just not what you want. Biggest trick I found is, and coincidentally, this seems to work with every single kick I've ever tried, is if you just smash in a new EQ8, click number 2, it's already conveniently at 200 hertz, which is exactly where all your mud is. So what I do is I just go with the gain, I just turn it right down. So turn that right down there, so you can hear it with the mud. Totally changes it. So let's. Any beat, any 4x4 beat gets me going. So what you'll hear, you'll notice that bass, this low end, seems to punch through so much easier. I don't know why, but yeah, get rid of the mud and everything that's lower than that punches through even harder. So naturally with your kick, you want to roll off. I don't know why it keeps flicking up like that. Roll off at 30 hertz. And there you are. Let's turn off the so we're processing so far without any processing. So it's just fattening it up, and we're doing some EQ on it. I might return to that in a little bit anyway, but I don't want to make this too long, so I will. Oh, absolute no-brainer. Absolute dickhead. I've forgotten. Make sure you put a utility in. Make sure everything is mono, because you want your kick in mono. Anything of your kick in stereo is just daft, and a mastering engineer will tell you to stick the song up your ass. Okay, so make sure your kick's in mono. Make sure you got a reasonable release time on it. But if you're adding saturation, do it before your EQ. Take out your muddiness on your EQ. Next thing we're going to do, we want to add some compression. So what we'll do, I usually use a ratio around 5, really fast attack, and a release time. Usually it's around half of your BPM as a point. So let's go for 64, and you're looking for around, say, about -3 dBs of compression. So yeah, subtle, but once everything gets glued together, it will make a massive difference. And in terms of a kick, if you write, we're getting there anyway. So what we want to do, as I said before, I'm going to make the kick track the volume of the rest of my tracks. I want to set that at want to make sure it's bouncing at around -10. So a little bit of it. Still, I don't know if I'm a fan of that kick, but seems there's quite a bit of distortion on the top end of that kick. I'm not sure if I like it. Let's just see if there's anything. Yeah, change the kick. If you don't like your kick, change it. I like that. That's a bit better, because this kick, That's got quite a long decay on the release, hasn't it? So yeah, it's around the same. That's what you want. Minus 3 dB. Alright, and there's a kick pretty much. I wouldn't really mess around with that. Any questions on the kick before I move on to the bass? Right, that is a fat bass line. Pretty impressed with that. So the bass, quite a lot of processing going on here, but absolutely essential. I use Diva. I don't know if this will show up on the screen. No, it won't, because it is shit. Diva is just, let me see if it allows me to put up a different display capture, window capture, add source. Nah, it doesn't. It's rubbish like that. Okay, let me put display capture, add source. There we are. That's better, isn't it? Get rid of game capture. I don't want to be doing it twice. There we are. So that's Diva. Groovy bass. You like that, mate? I liked it. It's quite simple. We'll get into how I did the MIDI notes anyway in a minute. It's that bit of a groovy bend. So what I did for this, if you use Diva or you use any kind of oscillator, it's going to be pretty much the same. It is a very, very beautiful synth. I'll show you some of the other synths I have done with it in a bit, because it is absolutely class. And for this bass track though, all I've done is having activated 2 oscillators. It's just a saw width, kind of halfway in between the square. Range is 16. Gonna make sure that's whacked up full. Your second oscillator at 8. A little bit of detuning and give it a bit of a quite a fat sort boxy kind of wave there, because it's important, but it's certainly not as loud as your sub oscillator. Filter is quite low, obviously you can hear there. Even on my EQ8 I haven't even got a high pass filter, or a low pass filter, sorry, on the top end of it, because I'm using Diva's own built-in. So I'm using you cannot beat that analog sound that Diva is so good at. When I have got enough money, I'm going to buy a Moog, or my missus, if you're watching, that's exactly what I want for Christmas. I love you. Yeah. So the cutoff, want it quite low. Anyway, gonna need it quite low. You can select an ADD in here. Your add. Just add that little bit of that filtrance noise, slight bit of emphasis, which gives you that bit of resonance on top of your filter. Depends what you're going for. As I said before, no rules, just play around, see what you get to. Your cutoff, absolutely zero attack on this one, because you want that ping as soon as the bass line hits. Where's my key? Oh no, it's not allowing me to do it, is it? Well, anyway. If my missus would, I'll back you up. £100, eh? 100 quid. Yeah. Oh, she knows exactly what the Moog is, right? She's seen it that many times. I think she knows the dials and what's on it better than I do. And she knows how bad I want one. And I'm pretty sure if she had the money, bless her, she would absolutely just purchase one for me out of that blue, which she might do one day. So if she does that, then she's going to get something very nice for Christmas. Where was I? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you've got your oscillators going, what else is there I've missed on there? Feedback, that just adds a slight little bit of drive. It's like the overdrive button on the Moog. It's kind of used to replicate that. I haven't put any LFO on it, however, I probably could. So your LFO, if you've ever played with an your LFO frequencies, just add a slight little bit of sort of filter movement, so you'll hear it. I mean that. I mean that's standard. You've just going on proper techie bass line there, which you can't argue with, but let's. Add that little bit of movement into the sound, which is, I don't know, we'll see. You have to tell me whether what sounds better, because I don't. I like them both. Oh God, not again. What is that? Whatever it is scaring me. Alright, so we'll leave it there anyway. So that's the bass. You've got your two oscillators, one's a saw wave, and there's a bit of a square in there as well, simple. Obviously, you need. Yeah, I think the original sits better as well. We'll have a little bit of movement. The more that carries on doing that, the more I'm going to shit myself. Your bass always stays in mono with your kick. Same idea again when it comes to the processing of your bass. Saturation first if you're going to do it, because before compression, because I must be getting millions of likes or follows somewhere. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to have to turn that off. Yeah, so you want your saturation definitely before your compression, because if it's making it louder, the sound fatter, or your transients are going to be all over the place, so you want to make sure that you're compressing that sound all together in one go. So I'll show you how each of the processing works for this. Soft sine again, because we're low end. It's a sine wave, your bass anyway, so that's exactly what you want to be using. Just a little bit. The drive, I've only given a little bit of about 3, because if it's quite subby anyway, you don't want tons of it, because if you turn it up, you just start getting distortion, and that is not what you want unless that's what you're going for. I might add a little bit more anyway, because why not? It doesn't really matter. If you turn your output down, all you're basically doing is just adding more frequencies around your frequencies that you've already got, so it just duplicates them and moves them up and down the frequency band. So once we've saturated our sound, let's turn all these off so you can see what each of them does. Leave that one out. Compression is where this comes in big time. So So glue compressor, very, very useful piece of kit. Differs from the standard compressor you're putting, because I can't remember what technology it's based on. I think it's the SSL. I think it's the SSL outboard compressor. So it sits differently because it sounds different. Basically, the output, the essential technology between the glue compressor and any other normal compressor is exactly the same, but the glue compressor is based on the SSL, I think. So with any bass, want to start with your attack right to the top and your release all the way to the bottom. Leave your ratio probably around 4. Got your own standard bass, so let's bring it down, and you notice the volume starts reducing as the sound starts to compress. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. Side chaining, yes, but you also need to compress your sound, and that's the difference between good sound. It just makes it flatter, so you're just squashing the sound. So you can take this waveform, for example, and you see everything's peaking here. You've got different troughs, but what you're doing is you're just squashing the peaks in your waveform together to make it a flatter sound, which sometimes works better because you just want that space inside your sound and you don't want peaks punching out. We'll get side chaining, very, very important. So what I do, I learnt this. Who did I learn this off? Might be John Summit, actually. If we're gonna compress our bass, I normally go down to about, compressing around 7 dB to start with. It usually sits around the 20 minus 24 dB of threshold anyway, and then start with your attack all the way up, and then slowly bring your attack time down until you feel like you've really lost the bite of the bass. In this case, it's definitely there. 1, lost it, so it's either 3 or 10, I think. That sounds good there around this. Yeah, man, do what you want. Take screenshots, do as you please, mate. This will be on Twitch. I'm pretty sure it'll stay on Facebook anyway, so you just come back to it when you need it, pal. If not, just message me, and I am always happy to help. Don't worry, mate, I've forgotten about it. But yeah, take screenshots, mate. You do what you want. The idea of why I've started doing these streams is, one, it gives me something to do on a Saturday night, or Friday night rather. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. You lost my face. Never mind. Put myself back in the picture. It's been talking like a robot with no face for the past 10 minutes. So, yeah, so the idea of what I want to do with these is just build it up. And so there is Q&A, and you can just have that general chit chat, and you can learn stuff, and so can I. As I said, if you've got any other better ways of doing it, let me know, because I am always learning. So yeah, the bass, start at the lowest release you can, bring it down to around 1 or 3, and just find out where it's really biting. That's what you want to hear. That it just really pushes all the transients together, and that's what you want. But I would never compress the bass unless it's really problematic any more than 10 dB, because it's quite high. I like that. You said the original sounds good, so I'm going to remove that LFO from the bass. So always listen to your fans, man. They know best. Right, EQ. Same, it's low end. I'd roll off around 30 hertz, and the problematic area again around 200 hertz. That horrible boxiness. This is just to get you started. There's going to be a lot more EQing and processing further down the line when you're going to start fine tuning things. But for the most part, just chill, stick a bit on it, make it sound reasonably good, get your track together, and then come back to it later. Compression. Here, your compressor. So side chaining, absolutely. As you said before, side chaining, very important. Make that space between your kick and your bass. So side chain, you won't be able to see that because it's a pop-up, but if I'm side chaining something, I will take it and I'll side chain it to the kick. We will change this in a bit anyway, because what you want to be doing is gluing your kick and your bass together in a group as well, just to glue it a bit further. But we need to compress the bass inside its own processing channel. So to the kick. So what you want to be looking for with your side chain, and I might open up a box of noodles here because everybody does things differently, but this is just the way I do it. It may be right, maybe wrong. I'm saying that there isn't a right or wrong way to do it. As long as it sounds fucking excellent, it doesn't matter, does it? So definitely ratio 5, definitely a ratio of 5. Your attack, you want it to be pretty quick, obviously, so the bass tracks when the bass ducks, it tracks the transient of your kick, the first transient of your kick. So I usually keep that really fast at around 0.2 milliseconds. Release time, depends how you want to do it. I always keep it about half of my track BPM. I don't know why, but it sounds good, because the release time of the dip, the duck, the sound of the duck comes back up bang on in time with the BPM of the track, and it sounds class. When you're ducking your bass, it depends. Definitely minus 6 dB to start with, but I go from minus 6 dB all the way up to minus 12 dB, because it depends on the type of track and what type of kick you are using. Within this kick, you want to, because tech house is quite kick punchy in anyway, you're going to want that quite heavy duck, and the bass is quite prominent anyway, so you want that punch of the kick to come through, and the ducking of the bass to be coming up and down really prominent, so it bounces essentially. So here we are. So select the kick. If I pull the threshold all the way down, you can start to feel how it bounces in in accordance with the rest of the track. So it's quite prominent. For this one, I'm probably going to go with about. Yeah, I might turn down the ratio a little bit on this one because it's quite a fat kick and it's quite a fat bass line. So move that to 0.20 and minus 33. dip it at about -6 dB. Everything always works well in 6s and 12s. So -6 and -12. And a limiter as well. Depends what you want to do. If you've got your kick punching at about -10 dB, it always works well. Having your bass slightly below that, around -13 or -15 is working quite well on this one. Might even be lower. Right, so you notice we're not getting any limiting on there, which is about -15, which is working quite nice. The EQ8 there is just a bit of so I'll turn the EQ8 on there when it first drops, and then it kind of filters it out and allows the bass to kick back in when it drops. So next thing I would do with the kick and the bass, group them together. Quite liking that. That sounds pretty good to me. Is glue your kick and your bass together. Very, very important. Why do we do this? You'll see. There you go. One way or another, I don't care what you do, when you've got your kick at a certain volume, your bass at a certain volume, you're going to have transients outside of that which are going to peak. And what this does, it just blends the low end together, and it mixes very nicely that kick and your bass. I don't mess with the attack too much here because it's pretty set up as to go. You want your release time pretty much in accordance with the BPM of your track again, and your attack time to be relatively quick. So that 0.3 or 1. You can hear without. You just notice how it really cleans up the sound, which is good. I am just going to have to nip out for 1 second. I will BRB. I am back. Sorry, mate. That was just the missus telling me that she's ordered my Moog for Christmas. Bless her. Sounds like a perfect blend when that's on. Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. Just glues it together. Just glues your low end together, and then once you've got your kick volume right and your bass volume right, and that's it. You've got the basis of your track, haven't you? So obviously you're going to lose a bit of volume anyway when you pull that threshold and you start compressing your kick and your bass. So you want to do some makeup just to make up what you've compressed. It's Friday night. Why not? Cheers. Yeah. So another trick, I know, just makes sense to me anyway. Once again, if you're gonna say you want the bass, well, the low end of your mix to drive the rest of your track, and obviously you're gonna need headroom for everything else. I always find -10 works well, because once you start putting your hats, your snares, your synths, and everything on that, it always ends up at about -6 dB, which is the minimum standard for most mastering engineers. So we'll see against the limiter where we are. We're punching quite well there, especially with the makeup. I'm going to put a limiter on the master channel, bring it up a bit just for reference, so I can hear things. So I can hear things a bit better. There's things on that kick I still don't like, but yeah, we'll get there. I've already made the thing of my track, so just put those kicks in. Let's see what that sounds like with it all up. I like that. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. See where we're going with it anyway. It should be a banger once it's finished. So where did that go? I want a copy of that on there as well. So that pops. I think I'm going to go for a little bit more side chain. Yeah, -10. -10 sounds quite nice. As I said, anyway, when you're ducking your side chain, it's usually between -6 and -12, which will sound nice. So I just bring it down a dB every time and just until it fits. Right, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to know how the MIDI was put together, so I'll run through that quickly. Very, very simple, but it's got a pitch bend on it. So because in Diva anyway, it's got the bend selected, so it'll automatically bend any notes I put on anyway. So where is it? Yeah, so my glide is at 12.5, which is always a good baseline to start at. Right, is there anything to cover? Anything you want me to go into? Anything you want me to cover? Put it in the chat now, or forever hold your peace, and I'm just going to crack on with the track. No, you're not disturbing me at all, mate. I'm here to help. I'd rather help people when I'm on the live stream, in helping people do their bits they want anyway, because I'll be putting the tracks together regardless. So I would just think of giving you that opportunity if you've been struggling with something, or there's something you want to learn, or you just want to sit and listen. So, gonna regroup that, just low end. So now I've got nice glued together. You're right, mate. Every day is a school day. I'm still learning every day, but started using Ableton about 10 years ago, but I thought, you know what? It's about time I start giving back one way or another. And I'm not famous yet, and I doubt I ever will be, but I do this because I absolutely love it. So we got a nice low end. Let's turn everything off, and then we'll go through the basics of what else makes up a good house track. Turn me resets them. So now, any tech house track, your kick and your bass is going to smash it when it's played live. So you need to ensure that your kick and bass is class, which I think we've got a good baseline there. So there's still work to be done, but with that we can get on with the rest of the track. So as this is a remix, I got together the stems from Ollie. Got a bit of an offbeat vocal there. The off lead, which is a riser. A riser. Which is that. I don't know what this one is. Let's have a look. Yeah, a little let's went down, and the main vocal of the hour. What this is going to remind me of is La Danza, which is John Summit's new one. It's still got a similar sort of Latin vibe to it, hasn't it, with the bass line, so it's class. So I'm quite happy to be doing that. I might even change that bass line at some point, but I'll probably stick with it to now. And the main lead, which is pretty good. So let's put all that. Class. I know, exactly. You know, I could say the exact same thing you've said there about doing a live stream, because tonight's like the first night I've actually decided to bloody go for it, because you sat there thinking, do you know what, is it a chore or whatever, you feel that immense pressure, but you just need to get on with it, mate. You just need to start doing it. I find I always get writer's block. I've had it for the past 2 months, but I thought, do you know what, I'm going to start doing some live streams and hopefully and get rid of the writer's block. Might start inspiring me a little bit. It shouldn't, mate. Just chill. Just do it because you love it, because if you've seen Alan Fitzpatrick's post the other day, it was absolutely crazy. How you kept going on about how social media is just, yeah, mate. Give me some fucking Ben and Jerry's, please, mate. But I've got my can. I've eaten a full bar of chocolate, so that counts anyway. But yeah, just do it because you love it, mate. Honestly, just do it because honestly, there's so much pressure nowadays for artists and everything to try and keep up on social media. You've got to take stupid pictures of yourself, post yourself, and It's not me. I mean, I don't mind doing stuff like this, a live stream, because I feel like I'm actually doing some good and helping somebody, especially when there's somebody interested like you, my lad. And there's a few people watching on Twitch, which is good as well. Yeah, Alan Fitzpatrick, didn't he put the nail on the head with it, man? I think what gets me about it is if he's such an established artist as good as him, kind of struggles with the elements of social media. I mean, what kind of what is there for the rest of us? It's horrendous, isn't it? But what I figured over the past year or so is like, you just do this shit because you love doing it. If you don't love doing it, and if you're feeling that constant pressure to make it or do it, it's not gonna work. You're just gonna impede yourself. So the best thing to do it because you love it. Mix, write music, come in the studio, have a beer, do what you love. Right, I want some tops on this now, so I'm going to start with a standard hi-hat. Hi-hats are a bit different. Your low end is going to be the kick and the bass, and that's all going to be in mono. When it comes to the tops and the hi-hats and everything, that's when you want to start making space for your tracks. So you can have hi-hats, which is quite spacious on the side. You'll notice they're going to go out on you to the left and right channels, and you'll notice there's a bit of space, and then you can keep things a bit tighter. So what I do in my hi-hats, I find one. Obviously bring it down because hi-hats are loud compared to your bass line. Even though they're at a lot lower volume. You notice that's quite a wide. So I'll have a hi-hat. We'll call that hi-hat C. It's a hi-hat center. Gonna go ahead and have a look in the sounds here. Drums. I think we'll probably just go for a standard 909 hat, which always works nice and clap. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. I've used the wrong one. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's because I've got ambience on it. Silly me. There we are. So, standard 909 hi-hat. Honestly, keep it simple. Keep your release. You find that most of the closed 909s are quite tight on their releases anyway, so I don't think you have much to worry about that. Just keep it around the same BPM as the track. Especially if it's closed, you want that release kicking quite quickly. And then the hi-hat center, I'm going to go for the hi-hat W, hi-hat wide. And what that is a said hi-hat, quite similar to a closed hat anyway, but go and stick some big reverb on it, because it fixes everything. So listen to that. And couple that with your center hi-hat. So now you've got a hi-hat in your center, and you've got plenty of space with your other tops as well, and it sounds crystal clear. There's no clash in the sounds or anything. So you want your first center hi-hat to keep that a nice release anyway. You don't really need. I wouldn't do much processing on your tops. Inside the actual channels itself. If you get all your hats together and everything, all your channels right and all your volumes right on your channel volumes, what we'll do, we'll group them all together and then we'll process them that way. So all I've done is put the reverb on there, and I've got no processing on the channel. I've got 0 processing on the tops channel, and that, how class does that sound? Next, a shaker. Standard, a shaker is, well, you can get it from there. That's just a shaker noise. So let's find the volume. You want your center hi-hat quite loud. Excuse me. And your wide one, 6, what's this? Around 6 dB less. As I said, things always work well in 6s and 12s. And your shaker, about there sounds about right. I've just noticed you can't really see my track channels there. Can you hear me? That's a little bit better. Moves my webcam down a bit. That's better, isn't it? So you can see my channels, what names they are. So yeah. Get your shaker on, and the biggest thing you can do with a shaker is sidechain it to your center hi-hat. So yeah, go to put a compressor on it and choose the sidechain from your center hi-hat. Bring it down. Bring it down quite far. I would say about -18, or depends how fast you want the groove. Same again, you want a very, very fast attack time and quite a quick release time as well, but I'll probably go around there. Around there works. And sidechain it to that, -12. Sorted. Right. So that is the top end. I might close the. There we are. But ambience medium works quite well as the reverb on your wide hi-hat. Because it's quite a stereoized ambience reverb, and there's quite a lot of reflection on it as well, with quite a significant amount of pre-delay, which is what you want, because you want the reverb bouncing back after your original hi-hat, center hi-hat hits. So there we have it, sports fans. If you're gonna process it, we'll definitely do a glue processor. I would start with the Rock Parallel Room. I would never go more than 6. Usually around 3 or 4 dB works quite well with your hi-hats, just to compress them. Just glue it all together, do before and after. Subtle, but every subtle, a lot of subtle things make up to quite a significant major difference, don't they? So, what shall we do now? I think the de-esser. A de-esser always works quite well because it takes that sharpness off the transients in your hi-hats. Use around 3 dB of compression there, so Love a good old shaker. A sidechain shaker, mate. It's got to be sidechain, bro. And if you want, sometimes what I do, it's completely up to you, is I sidechain the whole fucking thing to my kick. Bring your attack. Yeah, I do use MPC swing. Yeah, definitely. We'll go through that in a minute. I'll show you how I would use it. It's that's just putting together a very simple thing. I've got this. I think what I want to do with this is take the perks out of it, because just filter those out a little bit. It sounds quite cool. So if I used MPC swing, get my grooves. Where are we at? I would probably use a swing logic. Maybe definitely 16ths. Try put that. So what we're using there, I quite like the drums in this loop. It's quite nice. So obviously what we'll do when we come around to it, we'll start chopping up this loop. Obviously I don't want my kicks in there. I might leave the top end of the back end of the release transient of my kick. I think it's about 1/8 this, so very nice. Just bear with me one moment, guys. All right, just 2 seconds, boys. Got a BRB. Sorry about that, mate. I am back. Ah, kids. So yeah, what's that? MPC swing. Oi, oi! So yeah, gonna keep that in, but yeah, you can use your MPC swing. I think that's what you're on about anyway. That's the way I use it. I just slam it on a groove. Usually, yeah. The higher up here you get. I think 60 on that, probably groove. No, probably that one. So, go through there. Just punch it out for the rest of the track. So anyway, tops. Quite like that. Right, drops. Let's keep the remixing. Oh, this works quite well. So I will keep that there. Move them over. What I was planning on doing for this was quite cool. Is not bringing in the kick, the bassiness of the kick and the bass until 4 bars later, until a full bar later there. So what I was going to do here is make some space for a bit of a drop stab, something like so. So it drops in. I'm going to use Diva for this. That's just let's have a look at the MIDI channel for that. Simple, does the job. I think probably need to modify the sound. I was just messing around with it the other day. Something like this, I'll probably go through presets. See what there is. Want something quite sharp, some quite stabby. That's probably the best I found the other day, but I think I'm going to start from scratch in Diva. How the hell do I do it? Yeah, making strong mode. I always got the decibels. No, mate. I do like a cider. There's no doubt about that. But it's £6 club card price for 10 cans. I am not saying no to that because I'm not a cheap bastard. I don't know. I just fancied some cider, but yeah, I do go to festivals a lot. Got a few festivals up our way soon. There's one. We've got one next week, which is Pitch Up Events. Shout out to Pitch Up, which would be good on a Saturday night. Thatcher's, do you know what I do like? I like that Thatcher's Haze. Thatcher's Haze is very nice. Green one. So what I'm going to do here, I want a saw wave. So we oh yeah, very powerful synth. Yeah, so like that. Keep it nice and low. Might bring a third oscillator. Yeah, we'll slab it up there, then we'll keep it somewhere around so. Get some reverb, some really big reverb on that. Yeah. Do you use Diva? Who uses Diva on the stream? Come on, it's time to get a poll going. Who uses what? Because Diva, for me, is just the ultimate in bassline production. I am contemplating trying something else with that bass. I like that bass line, but let's have a look. It's good. Hive is very, very good. I want to buy Hive. Hive is so good. Yeah, I've used Rob Pappen. It is good. To be honest, it doesn't really matter what you use. I mean, you've got your basics of bass sound are going to be, of sounding for that matter, is sine waves, saw waves, triangles, everything, and square. It's just the sound's a sound. Obviously, the way it produces it, especially virtual instruments, there's a massive. They do different, but the basis of the sound is still the same. So unless you're super critical or you're super established artist, you can probably get the same sound from. I use what's it called? Operator. Ableton's own built-in operator. I can't fault it. The sounds that come out, they're absolutely class. But I'm just using Diva because I went legit last year, proper legit. I actually bought Ableton Live. So ever since then, I've been, since about 2 or 3 years ago when I really started getting into production, I thought, yeah, it's time to go legit. So I haven't got it operator at the moment, which is why I'm using a fully purchased and receipted version of UHE Diva. Yeah, of course you can, mate. You can make the same sound in whatever, or you can at least get it close, can't you? Pretty close. Now I'm losing my train of thought. Where am I? Did I? Yeah, down there. Yeah, I was thinking maybe something. What do you reckon? I think the rolling bass line works, or something a bit more slappy, like. So play around with that bass line. I don't know. I like it, but I think it is as well. I think I want. Yeah. You want that? Right. Oh. Right. That one. I mean, like that. That is your basic bass line, and you could run that all the way through, like. And it's dark. And oops! Oh shit! I've spilled my drink. Silly me. Just getting excited. What, this one? What, that? Just... Yeah. Where's my crash? What I think we need to do is put some sort of harp in there as well, like what? Let's get rid of all this, minimize it. Now we're gonna start using Diva properly. One thing I wanted to show you before was some of the tunes, some of the preset, some of my own templates. No, it's not in my fucking templates. It's in my user. Fucking start again. Right. User. There's mine. Right. I think putting something like this in. Let's try. It's gonna have to be it. So probably dirty analog sound with a bit of movement on it. Let's have a look at mine. Yeah. Yeah. Let's try. Yeah, I don't know. I think that'll work quite well. What we're gonna need to do is make some space for the bass underneath it. So get an EQA. Do. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, of course it is. I think this is the closest thing I'm going to get to the Moog, and I said that to the missus. I said that I'm using this at the moment. I said, but if you get me a Moog, it'll be so much better. In fact, a subsequent 3.7, please, if you're watching. You see how like the whole dynamic of the track, just putting that in, has totally changed. It's starting to get like. I agree with the bass line though. I think that bass line needs to stay exactly the way it is. Or maybe give it some. Yeah, something like that. Maybe gotta give it a little bit of movement. So gotta give that bass a little bit of movement. We'll just focus on this kind of area at the moment. We don't. Yeah. That we'll go from there because. Let's go. It's not loud enough. getting in creative mode now. My tongue's coming out. Never be ashamed of sticking your tongue out when you're concentrating. Very important. Adds to the creativity. Adds to the quality of the finish. Yes, I'm not liking that, but potential D might get used. Yeah. Let's try it. Yeah. I stick my tongue out, go ahead. Wow, that's quite dirty, that. I don't know. I think the whole, I like it. Anyway, yeah, so we'll put that in there. Well, what else am I missing? Right, so we've got the kick, we've got the low end, we've got the bass, we've got the remix stems, we've got some tops. We need now... Well, the biggest thing we're missing is some percussion, isn't it? We've got what... Yeah, we've got some percussion in there. We'll call that perks. It's quite a loop. Right, let's get some percussions. I've got Audio Sample Tech Drums Volume 1. I'm going to start some loops, because percussion can be a pain in the ass when you're trying to start it off from scratch. So I use a couple of loops and chop them up. Let's see what we got that works. Could probably use that either as like a low atmospheric sound. Yeah, absolutely. Just, well, like... Yeah, maybe. Let's lower that a bit. Yeah. Probably use some strings in there. Like strings are... Yeah, filter it's the same. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got in here. I am not the pro, dudes. Get that out of your head. I am not the pro. I am just doing what I do, and you're along for the journey, mate. And if you learn something, then happy days. So let's try out what you said. I mean, let's have a look. Atmospheric-y sound, definitely. The low end's going to need a bit of that. It does need a bit of spatial. what was that? That works quite well, quite a low bass, but if you can do that, but you're gonna have to separate it, because if it's down on that low end, your kick and your bass needs to be in mono. So I would definitely not have anything below 100 hertz in stereo. Otherwise, your sound engineer, when you come to master, is going to cut your balls off. Let's get that, and let's... Hey, mate, it works. You just got to try all these things. That's the whole point. You've just got to mess around, see what you find work. I think if we're going to do that, have it low, that'll do, but let's not have anything. Or I tell you what would work, as long as the space in between the kick, if you put in a bit of spaciousness, is remove the centre out of it and just keep some very tight, it's very close to the centre, but just so your kick bass can punch through the middle as their mono, and just have a little bit of stereo around the 120 hertz, but definitely anything sub 120 hertz needs to be in mono. And side chain the fuck out of it. But I quite like the way that sounded. Good. Sounds good to me. What do you think? Keep that in. Yeah, one of your decent little mechanism that came in post Ableton 10 is the ability to put anything on a utility, which is this here. Anything sub 120 hertz, you can just put into mono, which is ace, and it leaves the rest of it in stereo. So that sounds pretty good. Sidechain the hell out of that. Let's put a bit of saturation on it, a bit warmer probably. Hey, it's only lovely because of you, mate. You said that. But as if right, yeah, this would be a good point. You know, it's we've got a lot of different frequencies in the band, haven't we? They're punching through, some louder than others, so that is what we use a compressor for. In simple layman terms, that's exactly what a compressor does. Flatten these out. Squeeze it. Because what we've got here is quite a long decaying sound. The sound when it comes in has got a very slow attack, and the release on it is massive. Then you need to, yeah, I know, compression. So many people overlook compression and doing things the right way. Compression helps massively. It's just, but it's always doing the small little bits of compression that adds up to a massive impact at the end of your track, and it all gets squeezed together in the final mastering stage. So release here, I'm just gonna peg the release to the max on pads if you can, or 1.2 or infinite really. Attack, I would probably leave it about 1, and because it's a continuous sound and those peaks are going up and down as the sound comes in, you want quite a high level of compression. So I would go same as the bass really, and look between 7.5 and -10. So without, and you know it's a needle jumping. Notice the needle jumps up and down. That just shows you the difference in volume that you've got between your frequencies being let out by your oscillators. So that's why you want quite a high level of compression, because you've got that the delta or delinquency, whatever you want to call it, between all of the frequencies in your band. As it's quite low, I'm going to stick a limiter on there anyway. Just one tip of the trick, tip of the day: use a limiter if you're in this mode, because obviously you can't if you're in arrangement mode. If you're in this mode, sound, you can see what dB your tracks are bouncing to, but in arrangement mode, you can't. Everything's blacked out. So I stick a limiter on, and I bring the limiter all the way down until it starts limiting, and let me know what volume is. So you're looking around minus 20 dB there, which is quite low, but which is where you want it, really. So again, there's no right and wrong. Use your ears. So that's helped massively. It's just given the low end a few extra dynamics, and that's what we wanted. Sounds good to me. You can hear the decay of that. We're probably going to have to turn that down in the Diva, because that is too long. So if you want to turn your release down, really, you can turn your sustain down, but that's just the top of the transient of your. Right, probably bring it down a bit. There we are, and the rest of it is delay. Right, ARP time. I want to put an ARP into this, definitely. So MIDI track. There it goes again. Scared the shit out of me. I will use Diva. Now, creating an ARP. There's tons of ways of doing it, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. So, I will do a quick. In fact, it needs to be bigger than that. I want a 32 bar. Let me just pick a sound out of Diva, which is quite a. Yeah, something like that. Something that I can. Something quick, sharp. Yeah. That's something quite cool. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah? I'm told if I don't order food soon, I'm going to be in trouble. So ARP, let's do this. Now, how long did that take me? It took me 2 seconds. Apps just quite. They do not have to be complicated. Da. Nah, it's alright, man. Just bear with me a second. As long as I order it, I'm still in the good books. I mean, look, absorb. That is just the. Took me 2 seconds to write that. Yeah, it's getting quite. This track is turning quite trippy. I think I'm liking it. You see, there's bits of the stems like. Like, I don't know if that's fitting now. It sounds a little bit out of place. I think you probably got a bit too dark, and it's trying to stay a bit funky. What might work is giving the vocals a bit of a pitch bend. Yeah, I don't know if it fits, but we'll work on it. We'll see where we get to. The biggest bit is going to... The thing is about the remix is... Now, that main lead... The up, down, an octave... Yeah, could try that. Let's see. Ooh. He's just getting into acid land. Do you know what? I like that. That sounds pretty neat. I think what we need to do though, when that bass, we don't want to. I think we take this out until. Somewhere like that, yeah. That sounds pretty good. Let's add a little bit of to the kick. Right, really fast attack, release. I'm gonna go with that. I think that's quite nice, that. Right, it's turning into techno, that, isn't it? Right, all I said I was going to stream until 9 o'clock tonight, but I will definitely do another one. I'll keep this the way it is, and hopefully we'll make it a lot better. But thank you very much for staying on the stream as long as you have, and I hope you have learnt something, because I definitely have. Gone from green velvet to crystal with each other. That's the thing, man. But that's it. You can put in a couple of changes, and that's it. It just completely changes the vibe of the entire track. You can go from, you change in 2 genres in 10 minutes if you wanted to, but it's just whatever fits. If you're not too sure, duplicate your tracks and then take things out and add them back. Always keep what you've done so far. That's always probably one of my biggest tips. If you're going to start changing the vibe of the track, keep the old vibe as well handy, just in case you decide to go back, because there's nothing like having a track sounding pretty good and then going a completely different direction it, but having deleted all of your previous shit, and so you can't go back. Yeah, so yeah, or alternatively, save. If you feel like the vibe of your track is going in a different direction, save a copy of it the way it is before you're going any further, and just say call it a new version. But that's how you always end up with 50,000 different versions of your track, like I do. What have I got up here? Yeah, cool. But yeah, save. This is a track I'm doing now, but what have I got? There's a couple of tracks I'm still doing. I'll show you quickly what I've been working on before we leave. Don't forget, all my tracks are on Spotify as well, all the major streaming platforms. There's some seriously analog heavy music out there with some really nice vocals. So let me just add the I need to add this to my master channel so you can hear it. Hold on. If you ever decide to do streaming, use Restream. It's quite helpful as a send out local broadcast. Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of tracks. Look, when it works. So they're starting on my analog. Diva, baby. There. I like that too. Stick in your lead. There you go. So that is one I'm working on at the moment, and I tell you what, when I do I'll probably... That's the one most of I know. So what I'll do is, I'll probably have to finish that Tech House one anyway, but next stream I'll take us through it, and then we'll start on this one, and we'll start moving into the more melodic techno elements and stuff. So, but thank you very much. I better go before I get in trouble, because I've got to go and order and pick up food, and I don't want to be in the doghouse because I'm going to Newcastle tomorrow. So you take it easy and have a good weekend, mate, and I'll catch you soon. Take it easy.